Josh, hi, how are you?
Doing well, how are you?
Good, thank you very much. Sit on down here.
Absolutely.
All right, so why don't you tell me a little bit about the issue you're having?
Well, it's not nothing, crazy serious. It's just something that's been weighing on me and putting pressure is, I have my state certification for the police department. I'm also federally certified, but I want to move. The job I want is in Kentucky, and with the way that certifications go in the police world is they don't always transfer over so smoothly, and unfortunately in Kentucky this doesn't transfer very smoothly at all. So I'm calling them, and it's not just that I have to get transferred, but you have to get hired first, which is another stressful, another stressor alone. And once you get past that part, then you got to try to transfer this if you want to move laterally, which is easier for me. And it seems like it's just one roadblock after another roadblock after another roadblock, and it's just really tearing down on me right now.
So I'm hearing you say there's a lot of steps involved in the process.
Yeah, for example, right now I've taken a written test, and they said this is where I score, and they said they like what they see, but they want to know if my stuff will transfer over. So I have to call down in Kentucky. They do it. It's not like Ohio where you can just go anywhere and get your cert. They only do it in one spot in Kentucky. It's Richmond. So I have to call them, fax them over my certificates, all my certificates from all my police academies. They have to step back, review, and say, well, I don't know if this transfers as smoothly, even though my Ohio certification is more hours than what the Kentucky one is. It's just there's that barrier where they know that anyone can go to an Ohio police academy, where in Kentucky you can only go to the police academy if you're hired as a police officer. So it eliminates that flooding of the market. And now, I'm at that step where I have to fax them, and I'm just waiting. And it's like, do I have a possibility with this as a career? Should I be stalling on everything else and waiting for this, or should I continue pursuing other things that it's like my second or my third choices, not necessarily my first choices? So I'm kind of in limbo right now.
So your future right now is in question in terms of where you're going and what you'll be doing.
Yeah, I really enjoy I enjoy doing the state police stuff more than the federal. Federal, I get to be a police officer, but I also wear other hats that I don't want to say they're not great hats to wear. It's just I've always envisioned myself being on the road all the time, responding to calls in people's homes, whereas now I'm more limited where I'm going to be going and what I do. Whereas one day I can have a DUI, the very next an hour later I could be unlocking doors for an hour. And it's not that I don't think unlocking doors is important, because you get that community building, but it's not exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life.
So you're feeling a little afraid that you might be underused.
I don't want to say I'm underused, because I really do appreciate the job I have, and I know the job market's very hard, especially in the police department area, and I really enjoy getting that community policing, where I get to see and talk to everyday people, not just the bad guys all the time. I get to see people who are good people and who sometimes need just something very simple to make their lives easier. But I guess when I look at when I was growing up and making my my career choice, I always picture myself in that police car, responding to whatever the case may be, handling it right then and there, and then moving on right to the next thing and going. It's just more upbeat, I think, in the municipal than where it is now, where now it can be very slow at sometimes, and it just makes me feel like the day goes on forever the slower something is,
So you are a little excited in terms of what could come down the pipe in terms of living your childhood dream.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't want to. I remind myself, don't get your hopes up, because if it doesn't happen, it's going to be really hard. Because it's like I said, it's very difficult to be a police officer, especially in this time. You can go and apply for a spot that maybe they're only hiring one, and 300 people could show up for that one spot. But in the same essence, you know, every time you get another step farther, you're like, oh, I'm almost there, you know, I'm almost there, I get to do it, you know. But you still have to, you know, reality check yourself, say, you know, don't get ahead of yourself, relax, this may not happen, this may not be your opportunity, you know, so continue to go see these other places, don't just, you know, narrow yourself to one place.
So you're feeling protective of yourself in terms of because you know that this job is most likely something that could happen for you, and it's definitely something you want, and you want to make sure that you stay rooted where you are right now.
Yeah, you know, and that's why I have my federal certification and I have my state certification, and I could let my state certification go, but then I had to do everything over if I ever changed my mind and said the state is the way I really want to go. And I'm not ready to give that up yet, because I feel like I'm still in the transitional process of determining which direction does my career go right now. So yeah, you know, I am in that, you know, hold tight, you know, see where things go. And it's almost like I have to wait for an age limit, because then once I hit an age limit, then I can't go back to the state. I have to kind of stay where I'm at. So it's like, do I stay doing this until I hit that magical number, or do I just say, you know what, this is where I'm at now, and this is where I need to really put all my time and effort into it, and just go with what I have now, you know, and not give up, because it is a great opportunity, and not a lot of people, you know, the same process, you know, it took a while to get this position, but in the same essence, you know, I don't ever want to limit myself.
Right. Well, it sounds like you're also feeling a little confused, because this process isn't completely in your hands.
Yeah, I mean, it really isn't. I mean, everything, and it's not just in one other person's hands, it's in the hands of about, you know, the entire board of their hiring. Is usually between 3 and 7 people who sit on a board and interview you through these process and send you out to a medical board and send you to a polygraph board, you know, so it's definitely not one other person. It's definitely not in my hands. You know, I can only take it to so level, and then, you know, I have to step back and let other people make choices for me, unfortunately.
So you're trying to keep yourself restrained.
Yes. Yeah. It's tough. Yeah, I am restrained, you know, and not meaning like restraining like my career progression, but restraining my emotions to these boards and to these potential, you know, opportunities, keeping still a reality, saying, hey, there's other people doing this also, doing the same exact thing you're doing, and just as qualified as you are. You know, be enthusiastic, but also be realistic, you know.
Well, it sounds like you have a great opportunity ahead of you. If you ever need to come talk to me again about this would be great, and let me know how the process evolves for you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A little earthquake in there. You're good. I think you're good. Yeah, 8.